Yellow that. Mr. Nonxuba, you're speaking to 𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗃 from Carte Blanche. In April this year, we brought you a bone-chilling investigation of litigation lawyer Zuko Nonxuba.
There's that saying, to understand a society, look at how it treats its kids and its elderly. Those were the people that Zuko Nonxuba targeted. And instead of doing right by them, he stole from them. And not only from them, but he also stole from the country.
An Eastern Cape attorney, Nonxuba had allegedly defrauded the state of millions by submitting fake medical negligence claims for children never born or damaged in hospital, and stealing from his own desperately sick clients.
So many of these summonses were basically identical. He wasn't even bothering to make them unique to each patient.
Nonxuba stole from a crippled public health system, and as the evidence mounted, we went in search of some of his clients, children with cerebral palsy like 9-year-old 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 Molose. We met 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 and his mother Millicent in a village near Willowvale. He was very sick, living in abject poverty. They were unaware that the Eastern Cape Department of Health had awarded 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 15 million rand, money that had already been paid over to Nonxuba as early as 2019.
That amount has been paid to Mr. Nonxuba. The plaintiffs would say that they got about 200,000 rand for their cerebral palsy child, yet we are sitting with a court order that has awarded them 23 million. And these guys had no idea.
Nonxuba, a lawyer claiming to fight for the people, was exploiting desperate children with cerebral palsy, a condition often arising from mishandled births from the remotest and poorest parts of the former Transkei.
He particularly targeted those villages around Transkei because he knew that there, people are desperate.
As part of our initial investigation, we obtained this audit from the Eastern Cape Treasury. It details 20 cases where the Department of Health paid Nonxuba these monies, but he never paid his clients.
Behind each of the 20 names in this startling document was a child likely in need of care. Our investigation shifts to the organization responsible for oversight of the people practicing law. The deeper we dug, the more questions we had for the Legal Practice Council, or LPC. Were they aware of the allegations against Nonxuba, and if they were, what action had they taken? Or, as has been alleged, was the LPC the reason he is still practicing to this day? To fully piece together the impact of Nonxuba's behavior and the LPC's apparent indifference, we returned to the Eastern Cape determined to find some of the other children named in the audit. We set off for Tsolo, a village near Mthatha, in search of 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. According to the Treasury audit, 16 million rand was paid out for her daughter 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 close to 5 years ago. The court ordered Nonxuba, who was acting for her, to open a trust account in the child's name. Trusts are separate accounts overseen by trustees, aimed at keeping the beneficiary's money safe. It appears the account was never opened.
Molweni. Molweni mama nijani? Kumasa ke kana.
After an arduous journey, we're told 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 has moved to the northwest in search of work.
Hey, hello girl.
Her daughter 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 still lives here with her granny, but we managed to reach 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 by phone.
Hello. Hi, sisunjani. Nangu ke 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃. Hello. Hi.
Hola, Sisi. ndiyarhalela qha ke ngemeko yasekhaya endiyibonayo uba injani ndiphume.
Andiyithanda into endiyenzayo le, andiyenzi uba ndinyanzelekile.
Uve nini last time from Mr. Nonxuba?
Ndithetha naye yesterday ndibuza uba ithini kanti into yomntana, wathi usendleleni. Namhlanje xa ndizama ukumfowunela ifowuni ingena ku-voicemail.
Sisi, kunento ndifuna ukuxelela yona ne. uZuko Nonxuba, he got 16,400,000 for i-case yakho. Le mali le eyakho nomntanakho.
Uthi yo hayi le bengazi uba yo hayi andiyazi. Oh. Imali engaka sani ndingandifumani nesenti. Ndithi ndisokola ndidinga imali. Oh. Imali yami ityiwe ngabantu abanemali futhi.
Asikisi no Omo. Asikisi sisi.
It's hard to comprehend that Nooma is forced by circumstances to live apart from her child, while Nonxuba lives the high life.
Yes.
Harder still to figure out why the Legal Practice Council hasn't acted. As our investigation intensified, we realized the LPC's history with Nonxuba goes way back, and its failure to act has caused these families irreparable damages. In 2018, the Special Investigating Unit and the Eastern Cape Department of Health laid fraud complaints against Nonxuba at what was then called the Law Society, now the LPC. But because he was also facing a criminal trial, they refused to investigate. Our investigation shows Nonxuba continued winning multi-million rand suits in that time, money that was allegedly kept for himself. In 2019, the High Court ordered the LPC to investigate the complaints, and a year later, they released a damning report finding Nonxuba had violated numerous codes of conduct. But again, there were no consequences. Next on our list, 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶. We make our way over the mountain to a village near 𝗀𝗁𝗶, where she lives with her son 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶. Soon after his birth, 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶 started having seizures and was later diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Because
it was in 2020 that Nonxuba told this family they'd been awarded money for 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶, but never confirmed how much. According to 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶's granny Zuko Nonxuba, he has been giving them a few thousand rand a month since then.
Kayithetha usisi wathi mandifowune xa umntana engenakutya nomntana xa engaphilanga andinike imali kwagqirha. Ndimane ndifowune ke mane ndinike 1,000.
3 years later, the family hears for the first time that 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶 had been awarded 13 million rand. Thandiswa is heartbroken.
Sebenzisa abantwana abanjena abangumtsotsi 𝗀𝗁𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶 yena.
With a heavy heart, we leave this family behind for now. But again, if all this evidence was given to the LPC back in 2021, why do none of these families know about any investigation? When we approached the LPC for clarity, they declined to comment. Our journey continues late into the night, one family leading us to the next, the number of Nonxuba's alleged victims growing beyond what we could have imagined. While doing this investigation, we have crisscrossed the Eastern Cape, and we were able to find more of Nonxuba's victims. Unfortunately, some of them no longer even live here.
kaloku wayendithembisile ngelaa xesha loba khona but uba yimali andiyazi.
Atukoloda i-21 million.
Zange ndayifumana.
Almost 5 years ago, Nonxuba was paid over 21 million rand for Andiswa Fuchani's son Sinesipho.
Ngenyanga only. Ukanditshayoneli loo mali. Engayixelela ukubana wakhe wathi sindingathi.
It's hard to imagine a more callous response, ridiculing Andiswa while apparently pocketing the 21 million rand owed to her son.
And then amaphoyisa or abanye abantu bayokufonela bakubuza ngale ndaba.
With such overwhelming evidence, how could it be that no one was investigating these missing trusts? As we joined the dots, we discovered that the Eastern Cape's Treasury Department did open a criminal case with the police's Commercial Crimes Unit 2 years ago. But the docket lay dormant until our first story aired in April. According to a source, the case is now receiving attention. But it's 2 years too late for these children. Yandisa Feni's son 𝗀𝗃𝗆 is 9 years old, but he looks like a toddler. A lack of treatment for cerebral palsy is causing severe muscle spasms and affecting his bone density.
Akakwazi ukubamba, like izandla zakhe zihlale zenje ezibawubona ba. Zihlale zenje bani ndiyazolula. Uthi kubona ufila kabuhlungu. Iyasokolisa xa umkisa. Utya kancane. Iyaphela ne-hour ndikisa yena. Ukutya kude kubande okumkisa khona. And sometimes kukumkisayo ngoba iweight yakhe incinci.
Underweight and desperate for medical treatment, 𝗀𝗃𝗆 is trapped here without the money needed to see a doctor.
Ngo-2019 uya edoktheni nalapho wena isifuba.
Just like every other family we spoke to on this journey, Yandisa is unaware her child was awarded 22 million rand, paid to Nonxuba about 4 years ago.
Oh. Sure. Hayi. Mhlungu. Abantwana bethu sibafumane ihlobo sirhalela bancedakale ngalo. Ngoku akho nto sinayoyenza ngoba asinamali, asikwazi uba nakekela ngale ndlela fanele sibanakekele ngayo. Ngoba kaloku akho nto unoyenza ngaphandle kwemali. Imali ke yile igcinileyo angafuni uyikhupha.
After years of failing to hold Nonxuba accountable, the LPC, under pressure from the Eastern Cape Department of Health, did manage to suspend him last year. But he's challenging the move in the Constitutional Court, so for now, he remains a practicing attorney. After watching our first story and heartbroken by what he saw, Johannesburg lawyer 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀 flew to the Eastern Cape to take on Millicent Molosse's case. Unable to reach Nonxuba, he contacted the LPC for an answer about Avila Molosse's missing 13 million rand.
The Legal Practice Council have confirmed that they have taken control over the trust account of this particular attorney, and they're busy administrating it.
Legal practitioners are required to hold fidelity fund certificates because they take deposits from clients and operate trust accounts. But because of his suspension, Nonxuba's Fidelity Trust account is now under the LPC's management. But at the time of this broadcast, nearly 2 months after first contacting them, the LPC still has no answer to Armand's questions about Avila's missing millions. Again, we tried to persuade the LPC to speak to us. They responded in writing saying that only once Nonxuba's suspension case was finalized would they be able to engage with us and assist the persons affected by this matter. Meanwhile, a date for this hearing has yet to be set.
Mr. Nonxuba, abanjwe yonke abantu abathe wabavisa kabuhlungu inhlunga yo.
During our first story, desperate for answers, we tried to track Nonxuba down, but his offices were permanently closed, and none of the numbers we had were working.
Subscriber you have dialed is not available at the moment.
A few days after we returned from the Eastern Cape, Nooma called to say she had asked Nonxuba about her child's money, and he wanted to meet with her. We knew this was our chance to finally confront him.
So where are you now?
But Nonxuba cancelled their meeting numerous times. So we travelled to Rustenburg to get 𝗃𝗏 to call him on camera.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Voice message. Yellow tata. Yellow tata. Ndiyakuva tata. Tata kodwa ingxa ndiyarhala ke tata uyiva le nto yale mali mna because iyandistressa.
Kaloku wena ke ngokufuna into onganesekanga ngayo masiphinde sithethe noba kumandeni ndikhona.
From off camera, we tell 𝗃𝗏 to push for an in-person meeting as she needs answers.
Kukhona ingxaki enzekayo apha ndithwe ngqo ngama-journalist. Andibuza le nto yale mali and bathi basendleleni eza kum. Ithini kanti le nto mna ndingayaziyo?
Thetha nabo kaloku wena 𝗃𝗏 sithethile njena. Sukuyingena ndicela ungayingeni usukuyithethe mabathethe nam.
Bayakuva tata. Bayakuva tata.
Mr. Nonxuba, you're speaking to 𝗃𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶 from Carte Blanche. As you are aware, we've been doing this investigation. I'd like to know why you received 16 million rands of 𝗃𝗏's money, including Millicent Molose and 20 other people, and you haven't paid these monies. You're taking money from special needs children. No, I would like to speak to you. We've been looking for you, Mr. Nonxuba.
No, can you do it like this? If there's anything that you'd like to do, please let's do it in a procedural way.
We've been trying to get you in a procedural way, Mr. Nonxuba. You have been avoiding us.
No. What I'm trying, no, that is not correct.
It is correct.
I'm trying to explain. Can I just talk and say to you?
Yes, speak. Explain where at least 250 million rands has gone.
I'm explaining to you.
Yes, please do.
Yes, I'm saying I'm talking to 𝗃𝗏. If there's anything that you'd like me to explain it to you, let's do it in a procedural way. That's all I'm asking.
So let's meet today, Mr. Nonxuba. We're happy to meet with you. Oh, and then he hangs up. He says he's happy to speak to us. When we say let's meet today, he hangs up. He would rather speak to 𝗃𝗏, who he's been deceiving for a very long time.
What do you mean?
Nonxuba never answered our calls again. All we can do now is hope that this time around, the wheels of justice do something to get these children their money before it's too late.